Hello there. Good morning, good day, and good evening to whenever you may be listening. My name is Mr. Mont, and before I start off this podcast, I would like to say a massive thank you to whoever it is listening to me on SoundCloud. Whoever it is, the people listening to me have been sharing it with their friends, or people finding out new, or if it's just you, Alex, listening to this podcast over and over again. I honestly don't know what it is, but somehow you have managed to have me get 62 views on my last podcast, which I am incredibly thankful for. I mean, my YouTube view count was massively down this week, but honestly, I don't care. I didn't even know how it managed to get to that high of a level. Must have been me talking about Deadpool or something. Maybe something more like that in the past, but still. Thank you very much for listening to whoever it is that was listening last week, and maybe listening again this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with enough thanks, let's move on with today's topics. First up, we're starting off with films, and opening up this week, first off, is Race. Based in 1936 Olympics, with track field superstar Jesse Owens takes to the plate to try to break some old world records. This is during a very controversial point in history where black culture is sort of not fully segregated into the most American cultures, but also a very controversial time in history, as this is predating World War II with the coming forces and the rise of Nazi Germany. Like, this is before all the crazy stuff happened, but it's basically like Germany is very pro-Nazi at this point before all the war even started, and whether it's so good or not, I'm not really sure. But it basically does interest, at least for this very interesting point in history, as multiple bunch of things have happened around the time. Also opening up this week is The Witch, based in very olden times of classic America, where some settlers have tried to settle down, leaving their village behind to try to start a new life. They saw their town as being a bunch of heathens and wanted to live on in their own ways. However, living next to a cursed forest, where a mysterious witch may have cursed his family. Will they make it out alive? What's going on? Who knows? If you're up for a spook, maybe go see it. If not, not your thing. Also up this week is also Risen. Basically a tale of when Jesus rose from the dead, and basically now a bunch of people are trying to track down what has happened to him, and whether this whole thing of Jesus rising from the grave is real or not. Is it good or not? What happens in it? Well, it's the story of Jesus, you probably know what happens anyway. This is usually the point where I'd stop talking about movie entertainment and move on to the next topic. However, there is one more thing I would like to discuss. As many of you have discovered from last week, I'm quite the fan of the comic book genre, and quite an interest of all the different kind of things that is produced from it. And one of the things during this week that has been revealed is the online trailer for Season 2 of Daredevil. This is a Netflix exclusive series that brought to my attention from last year, and I absolutely love it. It is a very down-to-earth, gritty take on the idea of a vigilante taking this to the streets to try to force his own justice. And this trailer shows taking this step even further, with the introduction of a beloved Marvel character, the Punisher, as Daredevil tries to pursue his justice on the streets, but however spares his enemies in order to try to attain to himself being a good Christian person. The Punisher does not, as he chooses if you've done wrong, then you are dead, as the same kind of people who are responsible for the death of his family. What would come of Daredevil now? Will he crave in to this lunatic, try to take him down? Is it possible? As his beliefs are quite similar to Daredevil as his own. And what kind of rival will we become in this? What will happen upon the streets of Hell's Kitchen? Who knows how far this will go? What other enemies will he encounter? I honestly don't know, and I am so looking forward to this new series coming out. I was such a big fan of the first one, and I am dying to see where they go with this. It's just so cool. It's like, out of everything that you can do in the Marvel Universe, you can get away with so much more at Netflix. It was so brutal last time, and now I can't even imagine how far they can go with this. But I just know that since they have the rights to the Punisher, it's definitely gonna be a bloody mess, and I am so can't wait. Season 2 comes out on Netflix on March 18th. I will certainly be there to watch it in its entirety. Maybe you will too. if you have the time. Well, it's on Netflix. You can watch it whenever you want. That's enough of that. Well, that was a nice little tangent. Anyway, on to the next topic of the day. So, now that we've sorted out all the entertainment, we're on to talking about the weather. And, ooh boy, it's been continuously cold this week. Bunch of rain, occasional ice. I managed to get myself some de-icer, and then go out in the morning to de-ice my car. It's just been raining, so the de-icer has been completely useless. Woohoo, the universe just loves to take a dump on me whenever it can't need to use it properly. But anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about what's been coming up in the next few weeks. And it's been usual kind of weather. More rain and more rain throughout the weekend. Gonna be cloudy, maybe dark clouds, who knows. Apparently the coldest it might get in Bristol is about 10 degrees, which is better. And up to 11 degrees. So, similar weather throughout the entire day. Pretty much. Not too much else to say. Occasional stronger winds. Ooh, this is interest. That's a little piece of interest. However, starting on Monday, there might be some sunshine. Might be able to get some better weather. Ooh, same kind of stuff in London, it looks like. Quite with a fair chance of rain for the next few days. But try to just keep holding on, and you'll get through that much nicer. Nicer weather. Edinburgh, looks like you got some wind coming out your way. Better hold on. But also, more rain and more sunshine. Looks like Monday's just going to be an all-round sunshiny day. Who knows? Might be good enough for fishing. Probably not. As experience has taught me, whenever you predict one thing of weather, it's going to be the exact wrong thing. But it's good to at least take a look and assume what is going to be next on the weather. And while we're still talking, let's move on to our next subject, sports. And what about sports this week? Well, as I've been talking with people for the past few weeks, I've seen to have been noted that one certain sports event is going on right now, and that is the Six Nations, a big rugby tournament happening that I've been completely missing out on. If I had been known about this when I first made my podcast, I would have talked about it, because rugby seems like a sport that actually seems interesting. It's much fast paced, it's quite brutal, quite the interest. Would I be interested in doing it? Probably not. Actually, no, there's no probablys about it. But anyway, what's been happening? The past few weeks there's been tournaments of between six nations: England, France, Italy, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. Quite a good all-around area for the rugby tournament. And so far, England has been doing well. Back on the 6th of February, there was England won against Scotland, 15-9, and then on the 14th of February they won 40-9. That is way better. Looks like we're leading. In the meantime, when France went up against Italy, it was much closer with 23-21, and then France against Ireland 10-9. France have been getting by on the skin of their teeth. Wales and Scotland have also been close, as well as Wales and Ireland and Wales ended up tying. That seems bad. But anyway, the third round is going to be starting on the 26th of February, so get ready for next week, everyone, as first up will be the Wales versus France, and then the following day will be Italy versus Scotland, and then England versus Ireland. Let's see if England can keep their winning streak going, because this looks pretty impressive. Alright, now we're on a good roll. Time to finish off with our last news story of the day. As said on BBC News headline, there seems to be a serious problem brewing with coffee capsules. What is this problem? It apparently in Germany, the German city of Hamburg has banned coffee pods from running buildings. Apparently this is to prevent to reduce waste. Seems simple enough, it seems like what I don't usually drink coffee, but from what I can understand of this is basically a system used to put these shots of coffee into your drink to make it run. But when the shot is used, it's just then thrown away. This seems like a massive waste of effort. I can understand some certain things, but it's just rather bizarre. Seems like a lot of money to spend just to put it in a simple pot. You could just measure it out with spoons or something, or use coffee granules. I don't know. Like I said, I don't drink coffee, so I don't usually know about this, but it seems like an interesting enough story to cover for people who like to drink those kind of things. I drink tea often, so I could understand if your favorite drink ends up having a massive shortage. Like if it decided, hey, we're going to stop selling tea bags because it's going to help to reduce waste, I'd be rather ticked off too. But hey, that's just me. Ooh. And once again, there will be the closing music. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for listening, and thank you everyone who listened last time. And I would very much appreciate it if not only you'd listen again, but you'd share this with your friends through Twitter, Facebook, social media, anything, or just chatting online. And feel free to leave a comment saying if there's anything you'd like to hear me talk about on this podcast, or talk more about on this podcast. I'd be very open for whatever kind of criticism or advice would come your way. I very appreciate everybody who listened, and I will be back next week to talk about some more stuff. This has been me, Mr. Mont, and I would like to say thank you and goodbye. Have a good week.